Mic check, mic check. Hey.
It's 5 o'clock.
Thursdays at 5.
And
Chelsea and Tony live.
Yeah. And this episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, or online store for you and your ideas. Squarespace features an elegant interface, beautiful templates, and incredible 24/7 customer support. So try Squarespace at squarespace.com/Tony, and you could use the coupon code portfolio and get 10% off.
What a bargain.
Dang.
We're going to take a look at a couple of Squarespace portfolios today. So if you want to send yours in, go to go to sdp.io/link and you can give us the URL and we'll give it a review and talk about whether your pictures are good or not. And you'll get a chance to see Squarespace portfolios in action. Thanks for sponsoring us. Today we're looking at abstract photography.
Yeah, we are.
Which is not, like, nobody considers themselves to be an abstract photographer.
How do you know?
For when I don't have an obvious subject. Because with abstract photography, you can take anything and make it your subject. Composition becomes a subject. So you look at the colors and the light and the form and the shape. And that's what abstract photography is. The subject is composition and not something in the picture. So if you want to send in your abstract photo for review during the live show, go to sdp.io/submit and use the password shapes to log in.
Shapes.
Who is going to be looking through all these pictures and making sure that they're actually abstract and not pictures of llamas?
That would be great, but it's going to be the lovely and talented Siobhan.
Hey, Siobhan.
What's up? How's life in Philly?
It's okay.
I thought her mic was off or something.
No.
It is
Siobhan was just
disgustingly
muted.
hot.
She's just having an
Physically
existential crisis. It's fine. This happens like once a week.
It's really hot. The DNC is downtown, which doesn't really affect me because I don't live downtown. But, you know, summer.
Did you think about going?
No,
Okay.
I've given up just in life.
Hey,
So I think that's
inspiring.
a good
Really
way to go. You can't really be disappointed that way.
moved by this.
Guys,
you
if you
can
want to
also-
reach us, you can go to #TCLive on Twitter or use it on Instagram, and we'll read your comments and maybe look at your pictures.
Justin can put your tweets up live. Here's Justin. He's our producer.
Hey, what's up, Justin?
What's up?
I've actually met many BFFs this way.
What?
Hashtagging.
Hashtagging?
Yep. Don't
we're
question it.
we're also recording this with a 360 camera. We'll just see how it looks, but maybe there'll be a behind the scenes. This week,
Yeah,
behind the
what
scenes
everybody wants
was
to see.
pretty boring, actually.
Whoa, yeah. Oh, look at that. Maybe you'll see it behind the scenes.
Sometimes it's more exciting than that.
Next week, we're going to try something different in celebration of our Photoshop book finally being almost finished.
Yeah.
So you can submit your pictures that you think little editing advice, and we're going to pick some and bring them into Photoshop and do more extensive editing and see how that goes. So if you're interested in learning Photoshop, you can check out our book, and you can also submit your picture to next week's show, and we'll help you out. We'll walk you through the steps, show you how some things work. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be something different. And if you're wondering why we haven't been like churning out high quality videos all the time these last few weeks, or maybe a couple of months, it's because of the Photoshop book. We're just putting our energy into that. But I think it's turning out great.
Yeah, we're going to have like 10 hours of video in there that's never been seen anywhere else before. Justin and I have been doing the tech editing. I've been doing some more editing and laying it out and reading it and actually learning a lot from you as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's really well written, gotta say, sir.
Thanks.
Did a
Yeah,
pretty good job.
Photoshop is a massive
It's a
product to
beast.
try to
It's a
teach.
Bit warp.
puppet war.
Puppet Wharf.
Oh, that new face tool and the liquify. Oh my gosh, I just spent like maybe 20 minutes just laughing and making Justin look, and being like, Justin look like an ugly British man. I was like, look at you.
You can keep you can adjust the smile so it's big, and then go and then do it a second time and then a third time, and then it gets really bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to put that in the book. I didn't even think about.
Justin, you need to write a
Reopening it.
section. You need to write a section.
You want to do chit chat before we look at people's pictures?
I like to start off with chit chat because it just gets me like in a good mood.
Okay, I like you to be in a good mood.
Chit chat. It's that part of the show where we read your comments and you make us laugh or you make us cry. Sometimes you make us angry. We'll never know. Evil Ross says, typical America. Need the simplest thing in the world. Lord help you if you try to innovate.
This is about our tripod review.
I bet you
Because-
hate mirrorless cameras and LED lights too.
No, we use them all the
I
time.
have zero
Surrounded
problems
by LEDs.
setting up the three-legged thing. Zero problems. It's sturdy. Your red bag. This feels a lot like three-legged thing annoyed you, and you've gone out of your way to slate their new product. Wow.
We went out of our way to look good. We reached out to them. We like double and tripled, checked everything. We ran it past 3 separate people, forcing us all to use it.
Well, I'll say that I went into it hating it because you brought it into the office and you're like, Chelsea, look at this awesome tripod. And I was like, hate it, ugly, superfluous, dumb. I don't want it. And he was
But I
like,
loved it from the start.
yeah, from the start, he was like, no, stop. It's awesome. It looks cool. It's twisty. It's awesome. It's like space age carbon fiber. And I was like, over designed, hate it, get it out of my face. So you said,
Typical America.
well, I'm American, so I hated it. No, but who was right?
You're right.
But you really wanted to love it. And you gave it multiple shots and you wrote the company multiple times. And
But-
I'm the curmudgeon American.
Can I just be patriotic? Like, what's the stereotype that Americans like the simplest things and America doesn't like to innovate? Like, what is that based on? Like flights or the internet or Apple, Google? Like, what? America's like the simplest thing. What is he talking about?
I like simple
Maybe
things.
infomercials.
Those do work really well.
Oh. That's true.
Oh, our friend Smickjix.
I like this guy. Siobhan, you're so uncultured. The movie was called X-Men. Nightcrawler was just one of the characters. Oh my God. So dumb. Lol. Pwned.
Seriously, you've been
I didn't
pwned.
see that one.
It's really funny. But he's just joking.
He's my favorite YouTube commenter, I think.
I know. He's really funny. You did a good job on the bird ID, Tony. I live in the UK, and my first thought was, that looks like a blue cardinal. Haters gonna hate, I guess. I added this one for you because you were like so hurt last week when people thought you were bad at IDing birds.
No, but he's right. Bird identification haters are gonna bird identification hate.
Wow.
That's how it is in the bird
It's like
identification
a
world.
really nerdy birdie war.
Yeah.
Tristan, what do you got to say to us? I came to this video because it came up when I searched for Everyday Messenger 13 and it was barely mentioned and I ended up watching the whole thing anyway. Had no idea Chelsea could be this entertaining. I'm going to watch another episode and if it's this good again, I'll be watching many more. It won't be.
No, that was by far and away our best episode. It was all downhill from there.
I'm real fickle. Haven't been the same since the three-legged thing.
We actually have to try out that messenger. Maybe we'll take it to Germany.
Tony's biggest mistake in this video, it's pronounced Nikon. we just did a speaking of that, Andrew said, I love this format of video/podcast. Can you make more history videos? And Tony responded, yes, we're doing the history of Nikon this week. Awesome. We just recorded that today and it has to be out at the end of the month. So within the next few days, sorry, Siobhan and Justin, we will have out a new podcast on the history of Nikon. Nikon.
Nippon.
Nikon.
Okay. It'll all make sense when you actually watch the podcast. Let's take a look at some abstract pictures. Yeah, this definitely qualifies as abstract, and I think it's pretty beautiful with just that one splash of color in there. Your facial expression isn't saying "I love it."
No, I like it.
Oh, I'm giving it a pick. I really find it attractive. They got it centered just perfectly, which is so rare. Like
I'm looking at it that way because it's otherworldly.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, they isolated some interesting details. You have no idea where it is. It's just, it's cool. It's another section. It looks like maybe a drop ceiling or something, but at the same time, the way they've worked the lines and light makes it compelling.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, you can make something out of nothing, I think. It had lots of contrast. This is beautiful. What is this, like salt crystals?
Yes.
It's probably not. It's probably an art thing.
I want to try making it high key.
Oh, okay.
I just want to try it. And if it doesn't work, nobody's hurt.
Yeah, sometimes we edit photos because we can.
Yeah. I'm going to cool it a little. They have a vignette on it.
Oh, yeah, they do.
But I like the brightness of it. I don't know what this is. Do you?
No, I don't know.
It's very cool. I like you and I like it. Oh, this is guitar strings. Okay. And this is the little fret marker. Very cool.
Yeah, I feel like I might be happier with it if it had plenty of depth of field, because I find the depth of field to be pretty distracting and kind of distracts me from the simple lines and shapes.
I think it's interesting. I think that makes it more abstract. Wow. Very cool. I'm going to give you a pick.
Yeah, that's nice. So that's a reversed 50 millimeter, which we cover in chapter 12 of Stunning Digital Photography, how to reverse lenses for close-up macro effects and this like very, very dreamy look. But yeah, I like it. It's a nice splash of colors.
I like it. Okay. This looks kind of dark to me. How about you, Tony?
Yeah. And in fact, you can just look at the histogram and know for sure. sdp.io/top tip. We named that shortcut top tip for a reason. We end up suggesting people adjust their levels all the time. It's super easy to do. Chelsea's doing it for you now.
Look at me go. I think I would even cut into this a bit more. Oh my gosh, I'm cropping. I just stole your job.
Oh, man.
Good luck making it in this world.
Yeah. Interesting shot.
Just to balance.
Oh, sorry.
Because I was balancing the blue with the red story. What is this even?
You're not supposed to think about the subject. It's abstract. It's a shape. It's a composition.
I'm allowed to think. This is America, where I hate LEDs. Okay. This is good. Do you like the negative space, Tony? I'm not spazzing out. My mouse just doesn't work very well. There we go.
Yeah, I guess I didn't immediately have
It's a chandelier. I cheated.
any particular feelings. So it actually became more interesting as you started to adjust the levels. I think it's a beautiful chandelier. Nothing particularly struck me about like the composition of it. It's just kind of a square, circular shape.
I think it's neat.
But yeah, it's neat.
This looks like a crystal.
Yeah, it's tough to call this abstract because it's just kind of tightly cropped around the subject. Like I don't feel like the photographer thought, how do I balance lines and shapes?
It reminds me of space a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're doing a little bit of that with just cropping, just kind of figuring out, here's some interesting lines and colors and shapes, and how could I possibly balance them? This, I think, just qualifies as macro photography. This is not taken by Kyle Wolf, apparently.
What? That's not right. Still a cool picture, but not quite.
Sure.
This picture's neat. I like the colors. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, they're definitely onto something here.
We've got this line here. It's this section of the photo, and it's balanced by these hard straight lines. So you have like a curved line and a lot of white space, which is balanced by a lot of texture.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did it.
Yeah, they're definitely going for it. It's almost distracting how much you can actually see in the photo. Like you can tell it's a building looking down from like the third story, and there's like a frosted glass in the front.
Yeah.
But I definitely like the direction where it's going.
This is a tip. Sometimes when I'm doing abstract photography like this, and I'm in the post stages, I'll kind of squint just to make everything blurry, and then you get an idea of how balanced the picture is and what the main lines in the photo are. So if I squint at this photo, I see that we have this white line coming up towards the middle and then another line kind of coming down from that. Does that make sense?
Sort of. I don't know that I've ever picked up your squinting technique, but I've heard you discuss it before. I'm going to start trying to squint
I
at things
also
more.
squint when I'm doing dodging and burning, so I can just very purely see the highlights and the shadows.
Yeah.
And when you're squinching.
Yeah, like that.
This is
If you go
scary. I
like
don't
put your
know.
eyes like that.
I know you're going to dehaze that and see what's in there, because it's just like a challenge at this point. You're trying to.
Oh, you just want to, I'm scared, but I'll do it. I'll do it if everybody wants, I guess. Ah!
Okay, leave that, and then we'll crank up the exposure.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah, it's not abstract, so now we're just going to see what secrets lie within. Oh, man. I think it's just somebody's grandmother.
Yeah, but their grandma is cool about being spooky for photos.
Yeah. Okay. That's weird. This, I think, is a good abstract photo. I love the powerful lines leading up to the right corner. And this is really strong line in the foreground there. I mean, it's clearly a bench.
Does this little black spot bother you?
It didn't.
I want to see what it looks like without it.
Okay. Yeah.
This
Okay.
is now the focus more.
You're right, because of the high lines drew your eye to that black spot, but then you're looking at a black spot in the corner.
Yeah.
And you're right, now the composition is just more balanced. Yeah. Okay. I'm giving that one a pick. I agree with Chelsea's crop.
You know how I learned that? Doing my squint. You should write a book about it, Tony. You might actually make some money.
And good eye to the photographer for seeing a bench and thinking about how to work the lines in it instead of just taking the bench would have been boring, or finding somebody on the bench. But they managed to just isolate the shapes. Okay,
Good
I got to
on you.
re-import. You want to see if Siobhan has any questions
I
coming
always
in?
do. Siobhan?
I do. Okay. On the heels of your biggest mistake video, what do you two consider your biggest mistake and smartest moves in your current business careers?
Oh, man.
I've actually been thinking of this one because I'm mid-crisis because I have to write my own bio on the back of the book, which I hate to do. And I wish that I had the ability to just fake confidence. And I think my biggest mistake is that I will publicly doubt myself because I want to be balanced, but it comes off as not knowing stuff. And I definitely will know something and I'll just say, well, I think, and I don't think, I know a ton of shit, but I'm a person that does not want to fake confidence and do the whole fake it till you make it thing. And I think that's a mistake. I wish that I had just done the whole fake it till you make it and put myself out there more.
That is a pretty
Typical female thing.
feminine gendered issue that we apologize for things for no reason.
Yeah.
And say like, I think, or I would like, just like really softening any ideas we have or like demands that we could be making.
I'm going to try not to do that anymore because I'm actually seeing it take a toll on my career, and that is the biggest mistake I've made.
I'm going to queue up a bunch of like 80s Tom Cruise movies so you can see how confidence is done.
I need to be one of those people that just wins like an online photo award, and then I'm like, award-winning, world-renowned. Like I got introduced as a world-known photographer at an event that I was just at, and I could have been like, yeah, actually that's true. And instead I was like, no. I got really small and I was like, no, I don't want to talk about it. And I walked away and I was like, that was dumb. That was dumb.
Yeah, you should just accept it, be humble, but you're right. It's best just to go on. And
If I get really braggy for a while, just know I'm just working things out. It might swing in the other direction.
it is uncomfortable, though, to talk about yourself. But otherwise, how do people know how awesome you are? At some point, you just have to talk about yourself.
I hate that. What's your biggest regret?
Probably that I've often hedged my bet too much. So
Like when?
generally, I'm a risk taker.
Yeah.
But over and over again, when I look back, I think, oh, I should have jumped into this new business or jumped after this opportunity faster. And it's tough to say because you never know if an opportunity is going to work out or not. And hindsight's 20/20. And at the time, you don't know. But for example, when I was shifting from doing photography part-time and doing computer stuff full-time, I spaced that out over like 15 years.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I wish I had just dug into photography a little bit faster, a little more aggressively. But it's tough to keep, when you have one foot in a safe place that's paying the bills completely, it's tough just to leave that and take that full risk. I wish I'd taken the plunge faster.
It's hard not to take a risk because everybody's just afraid to fail. And you don't want to be perceived as stupid if you take a risk and fail. But sometimes you have to.
Okay. Let's look at some more abstract
So
pictures.
you're going to take more risks?
I don't know. Maybe I should.
Why regret it if you're not going to change it?
Yeah, you're right. It's tough because you don't have that benefit of hindsight.
Well, you started by saying you hedge your bets like too often or something.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to take less risks in a way.
Well, I wish I would, I guess. When I feel a little confidence that something is going to work out, I should just jump into it faster.
Yeah. You're conservative with your risks.
Yeah. Not as conservative as most people, I think. Most people stay in whatever's safe for the rest of their life and they never leave it. I do keep moving, but I wish I would do it even more.
Okay. Well, you need to crazy up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be bragging my ass off. I'm going to Photokina and I'm just going to tell everyone how great I am.
Yeah. We're going to
see how that works out for me.
We'll come back to the news in a little bit. There's a few pieces of news. Let's take a look at some abstract photos. This is really pretty, I think. We're at half a second here, a close-up on the waves, and I really like it. I don't even know that I want to adjust the exposure, though. Be my guest. I really like the toning on this one. I'm giving it a pick before Chelsea even modifies it.
It looks like a painting.
Yeah, it is. It is very painterly, and I don't think it's been edited. I think it's just the way it looks.
Slightly.
Yeah, a little bit different, but yeah, I think it looks great. It's tough to say. If you were putting on a canvas, it'd probably make sense to have a white point in there, and I think that would look good.
I'm going to stand by my choice because I'm a smart damn woman, and I edit all of our photos.
There's that confidence.
I'm really good at it. Yeah, and I do it professionally. Starting today.
I'm giving this one a pick too. I love this right away. The off-center composition. It's not quite spot color. I had to double check that. I love that a lot.
I like it too.
Yeah, I can't even explain why. It's just nice. Oh. That is really
Sand?
pretty too. Is that sand? I guess it doesn't really matter.
Or snow.
I love the texture of it though.
I think it's snow.
Yeah, it's got some weird optical effects.
Sparkles.
Like there's little. But yeah, I like it a lot. Nice contrast to it. Good simple shapes.
Gotta love those good simple shapes, guys. Siobhan, we're gonna import some more photos.
I have. It's just the computer was lagging a little bit. Now it's catching up.
This picture is beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like a pattern that you'd see in fabric on a dress.
Yes.
Don't you think? Yeah, it is really pretty.
It makes me want to put every inspirational quote I know over it.
Yeah, I might just tidy it up a little bit. It's kind of awkward when the corners are cropping into something like that.
Could you? Is this a piano?
It is a piano. I feel like this is almost too complex. Like there's no particular lines that tell me what the composition is going to be. There might be too much going on.
I'm doing my squinting.
Might even need to be simplified some. So you could get in tighter.
It just doesn't. You have these lines that are coming down this way, but then there's nothing to contrast them that's strong because you have multiple shapes happening over here and over here that just, it doesn't feel definite. It doesn't feel, I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't
Yeah,
feel
I don't
complete.
feel any particular order or balance
Yeah,
to it.
but I still like your idea.
Gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
This printed on glass.
In a modern apartment.
In
In
New York City.
A show about a guy that makes a lot of money. Think about it.
Like Suits.
Yeah. I really like it.
I love it. I really do.
Yeah, I love this empty space here. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And that's what makes it.
Yeah. Gorgeous shapes. Also, it's just super busy.
Yeah. What I do, this strong line that kind of goes almost corner to corner,
Yeah.
it cuts the photo in half. And I do like these flowing shapes. But
But there's so much busyness in it that it distracts you from these simple lines. And that is what's nice about it. It's that it almost feels more like a texture. One of these like spinning
Carnival ride.
merry-go-rounds or something. I think there are a few things that stop this from being properly abstract, like the other merry-go-round in the background.
Yeah, you would have to take it to a place where I couldn't even really know what was going on.
I thought I saw something in here.
Yo, you go for it. There's the ball.
Yeah, I like the ball. I'm just not sure what the proper placement is for it. It might even be
How to capture the ball.
cropping into it. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure I'm going to find the picture in here, but it can give you an idea of what we're kind of looking for with abstract art, like something that's a little more simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're being
cool shot.
pretty picky about this whole abstract thing.
We'll look at another picture and then get into the news.
I like this one.
Yeah, I like
I
that
like
too.
the colors. They have black, white, and blue, and a gradient. And it's the photo separated in a way that's visually pleasing.
Yeah, I'm not sure the balance here is perfect, but it's really nice, and for like a genuine photo, I like it a lot. Oh, this is gorgeous, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just like that.
I do too.
I don't have anything I didn't want to change about it.
I always want to know what everything is because I'm nosy like that. Very cool.
Let's take a look at some news.
Oh, we have news?
Yeah. Back to show those bags. I don't even know if that's possible. I just figured I'd give you a heads up.
Bags? The ones on the floor?
Yeah. Rick Norsegian, perhaps he's Armenian. He was at he went to a garage sale, and somebody had a box full of glass plates that had negatives in them, like old-timey, like 1920s negatives.
Yeah.
And the guy wanted $70 for this box of plates. And Rick here, $45.
You monster, because I know what he found in
I know. And he took those plates and just threw them under his pool table for a couple of years. Some research, they found out that a lot of like handwritten notes were actually made by Ansel Adams' wife. And then he had some experts examine the plates really closely, and the experts are saying that beyond any reasonable doubt, this is a stack of negatives taken by Ansel Adams.
Holy bejesus.
From a period where there's a big black spot in his career. Like, we don't know what he was doing these years.
What was he doing?
Well, he was taking pictures, but the records of them were basically destroyed. Ansel had a fire that destroyed a lot of his negatives from his early career.
Wow.
But people are interested in Ansel's progression as a photographer. So, like, he wasn't that great when he was beginning, like everybody, and he got better and better and better.
Blasphemy.
And these negatives fill in a critical part of his history and career progression.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
These are museum-worthy negatives.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And it's tough.
So how much did Rick get?
Well, Rick hasn't sold them yet. I think they're ramping up for that. Rick's like ready to retire. I think he's 67.
Do you know his wife was like, Rick, if you don't move that junk out from underneath the pool table. And then he found this out.
No, there were something.
He was like, hey, Linda, got a little something to tell you. That would be the best day.
I think they came back and said they were worth $200 million, but that's just like some dude said that. It's not like anybody's offering to buy it. The market will determine what they're worth, but,
yeah, but
they're near priceless.
He'll probably be able to split them up and sell them to multiple people. Probably.
Yeah.
A group of them to a museum and then some to collectors.
Mm-hmm. Some of the shots are great. Some of them are not great because, you know, if you went through anybody's random set of negatives, some wouldn't be good. But they are Ansel Adams. At least it seems to be. And it seems like Ansel just at some point stored these in Pasadena and then just forgot about them. And somebody picked them up. I don't know how they got them out of the Pasadena storage unit, but this guy had them in the Pasadena storage unit and then sold them in a garage sale. This like near priceless set of photography history, really.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Let's go yard sailing this weekend.
No kidding, right? I was just reading, because we were doing the history of Nikon, I was just reading about somebody who bought like one of those Nikon 1 cameras.
Yeah.
For like $20 or something.
No.
And it was just in a box of old cameras that somebody found, and it was one of the original Nikon 1, like the very first camera they produced in like 1947.
Wow.
After the war.
See, we look for that stuff too, because we'll go to lesson stuff, but no.
Yeah.
We always see some like moldy Polaroid camera, and the guy always wants like $70 for it.
Oh, I know. In other Nikon news, they announced a lens that I actually care about.
I care about this too, and people are already asking us to review it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because it's not unique. It's a 105 millimeter f1.4.
It's expensive.
Right? $2,200 for a prime lens?
Yeah.
Like an 85 f1.4 will cost you like, Creative Cloud updates coming up, will cost you like $850, and an f1.8 will cost you like $300. So $2,200 to get a little bit longer and a little bit faster. But
yeah,
you can get like background blur that you just wouldn't get with any other lens. This just shows, this is a Nikon image that just shows the size relative to other lenses in their lineup. So it's a big solid chunk of glass, as you can imagine, and f1.4. Like our zooms are 7200 f2.8, so they gather 1/4 the light. It's gathering 4 times more light. You can just really, really blow the background out. And this sample image provided by Nikon just shows like what looks like perfect bokeh to me. Like there's none of that like ugly haloing around the edge of the out of focus lights. I don't know. It just creates a really beautiful and unique effect that people haven't been able to capture before. Yeah. Looks gorgeous. Let's take a look at a Squarespace portfolio. People have been hopefully sending in their Squarespace portfolios.
Maybe someone sent one to us.
What's that?
Maybe we've got a few.
Okay. Load up. Okay.
Okay.
Matthew Schmalz. Might be related to Biggie Schmalz. Is that what you were talking about? Were you making the same joke in your head?
I was thinking, but you made it. You're the hero today.
So this is a wildlife photography portfolio. And
I have a few things that I noticed right away.
okay, go for it.
This stretched text, I thought there was just a problem with the page loading because it looks all like stretched out and kind of distorted. So I would just pick a text that's less stretchy. Thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree. That seems, yeah, you're right. Like somebody's TV is stretching the wrong perspective.
When you're doing it, Matthew, I would try to look at in this text that they already provided underneath your pictures and go with something like that.
Yeah, it probably makes sense just to match the font one way or the other.
Second thing, this just off-white background it becomes a presence. So when I first came to your page, the first thing I thought was about this color, and it's distracting from your pictures, and it's actually making me perceive the colors in your pictures differently. And that's my thing against a colored border. You don't, either pure black or pure white, you can put it up against any color and kind of accurately gauge the colors next to it. But as soon as you start putting other colors next to your pictures, then you're going to be influencing the way that your viewer perceives the colors in your pictures. So go black or white. I would recommend white. And then you'll let your pictures shine because you do have very nice pictures.
Another comment on the top level design.
Yeah.
The way you have it laid out, people have to, you're showing only square pictures in this layout. You have different options for your templates. This one shows only square, but that means that, but your pictures aren't square. So
that was a problem I had with that template.
And
beautiful photo.
In the Squarespace Designer, you can pick the focal point of the picture.
You can.
And it will alter the crop. So you have some control over that. But the way it's cropping them square is unflattering. Because just look at this picture. You look at that picture like weird composition with the bird crammed into one corner.
But then you look at this and this is...
Yeah, I was about ready to say just delete that picture. It doesn't work. But when I see the full picture, it does work. So you can do that by changing either focal point, drag that little dot around in the designer, or by changing the layout so it shows the uncropped picture.
So I may still have this template up. I didn't really like this one for this reason, and I can see people wouldn't go past this first page. That's something I had a problem with. You can go into your analytics and then they don't look anywhere else, which is a problem because like we were talking about, the pictures are up. So for you have such nice pictures, I might even recommend going to a full screen one.
That picture's gorgeous.
I love this picture.
Look at the lighting on
Look
that
at
warbler.
the colors.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
This is so beautiful. Yeah. The good news is you clearly know how to use Squarespace. You change the colors and the font, and I would just make a few small changes. He's got a blog. Wow.
I think it jumps out to a different site.
Yeah.
Squarespace does let you set up a blog, and if you do that, it'll just look better because we got bumped to a different site, and now we lost our navigation. And so that's a downside to it. Blog. Let's just...
Oh, so actually, I see the background choice now that I see this picture. And it kind of goes...
Yeah.
It's very, like, natural looking. But I would still, for the rest of your photos, I think the white background looks better. Wildlife photos.
Yeah, people think hunting and wildlife photography are somehow incompatible. But every hunter I've known genuinely appreciates being out in nature, and they also tend to learn animal behaviors better than anybody. Like wildlife photographers, even if you don't like killing stuff, you can learn a lot from hunters. And if you are a hunter, wildlife photography gives you an outlet where first you can kind of stalk any animal.
Yeah.
You can take pictures of bald eagles, but you cannot hunt them. So it opens up this much broader realm of possibilities and challenges too.
You could, but you'd be taking a really big risk.
You shouldn't hunt bald eagles.
I don't recommend it. That's not what I was saying.
Thanks, Matthew, for sending in your portfolio. Let's see what Matthew had to say. Matthew says I've had good luck with Squarespace so far. I'm not the most technical computer guy, but I've been able to accomplish everything I've tried.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Squarespace is pretty easy. That's a good way to put it. You can get it done. You don't have to be a nerd. If you are a nerd, there's graphs and charts and analytics, and you can go edit your CSS. You can link it up to your payment accounts and set up a store. It's automatically mobile ready. It's basically unlimited, but you don't have to do any of that. Sorry, I hit the mic. Squarespace makes it really easy for nerds and non-nerds alike. If you want your own awesome nerdy or non-nerdy Squarespace portfolio, go to squarespace.com/Tony. Get a 14-day free trial. Just try it out. You might like it. If you do like it, I think they start at like $9 a month. It's pretty cheap. Check it out. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring us. We can look at some more pictures. Maybe we want to toss it back to Siobhan.
I always do.
Okay.
Siobhan, how you doing, boo?
Hey, guys. Tony, what's your favorite brand of beer?
Dogfish
Dogfish
Head.
Head.
60 minutes. That's mine.
This is a jam.
Another question for you that has nothing to do with photography.
Okay.
What hair products do you use, Tony?
I don't know. I do have,
Purple shampoo.
yeah, because I have gray hair, which will turn like
It was
yellow.
starting to turn yellow, so I got him some purple shampoo.
And then
like
I just,
grandma.
I don't know. I just have some generic gel that I put in my hair. Because gray hair is a real pain in the ass. Hairy.
Yeah.
And I have some gel. I only put it in after I wash my hair, but I don't know what it's called. Sorry, I'm not a good.
I think it's bedhead.
Oh, maybe. A weird
I
question.
know your hair stuff. You guys should just ask me.
Yeah, Chelsea takes care of all my like fashion, and every aspect of my appearance is controlled by Chelsea.
You may not smile.
Yeah, I was redheaded before she met me. She changed that.
Oh. That's not true. What? Actually, you were kind of redheaded as a child.
No, I was never redheaded.
I saw. Oh, maybe it's those 70 pictures I saw. They make everything look kind of like.
Yeah, you're right. The blue fades out of the prints.
Yeah, I just imagined you were a redheaded child for some reason.
Tony does not have the skin tone to be a redhead.
No, not quite.
You would look insane.
Yeah,
All right,
but
a Photoshop challenge.
didn't you have blonde hair as a kid?
Yeah, I was blonde. I was blonde and blue eyed
Blonde
as a
is
kid.
different.
Yeah.
You had blue
You can be
eyes.
tan and blonde. You can't be tan and redheaded.
Wow.
I wonder if that's possible.
Way
Maybe
to
with a
try to
dye
keep
job.
the redheads down, Siobhan.
Don't limit
All right,
them.
not trying to tell you what you can't do, okay? You are welcome to get skin cancer to prove me wrong.
thanks.
You're really generous tonight. What else do you have for us, Siobhan?
You know how I do. Chelsea, what is your favorite technique for composition?
Technique, it depends on the situation. Sometimes if the subject is more abstract, then I'll be balancing more contrast, like light versus dark, and then my composition would be different than if I just wanted a face to be the subject and to make everything else kind of fade away. Well, I use a lot of different ones. How about you?
Yeah, I didn't really know what a possible answer would be. I guess
Some
like you
people
might
use
say
the
rule of thirds.
or the golden ratio, which I don't think is a thing.
Oh, it is. It's like there's like a crop thing in Lightroom for the golden ratio.
Yeah,
It's not practical.
But the golden ratio was
It never appealed to me.
no.
Just on a low level, I never
I
saw
just
the
mean
golden
that
ratio and thought, I feel that.
people thought that the golden ratio was like the secret to the beauty of life, but then when
Yeah.
people started to dig into it, they were like, it's not really a thing. It's not true.
I will say for me, it's more about contrast at this point, like the contrast between the subject and the background. Contrast as it amounts to visual weight, kind of defining the
Visual
balance of a
weight.
picture.
Yeah, it really depends. Like you know which painter I like is Mondrian because he uses colors and brightness to make balance in his paintings. You know the paintings that are like white blocks and there's a crazy red one in the corner and yellow lines. You've definitely seen Mondrian before.
Yeah.
As a photographer, if you look at his paintings, You can actually say, okay, this isn't like some crazy new age mess. This isn't crazy modern art. This is a study of composition. And you start to see that one block of red somehow balances a whole canvas of white. And that starts to make you think about light and color and visual weight and balance. So you can't always use the same compositional techniques because there will always be different elements in your composition that will give more or less visual weight.
I will say, as a photographer, especially if you're into an abstract photography, then study modern art and abstract forms of art.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it and you say, "Oh, anybody could draw a bunch of lines
You're
on a
not
canvas,"
thinking about it.
then you're not getting it yet.
Yeah.
And you just need to study it more. Because I felt that way for a long time, and then at some point it started making sense, and then I could see those relationships and the balance and the contrast, and bring that into my photography.
We should have a Stunners field trip where we go to a modern art museum
It sounds like a
and
good
talk
idea.
about composition. Because you can learn so much about photography by studying other forms of art, even sculpture.
Oh, absolutely. I really like looking at other forms of art.
Me too.
Well, let's look at a few pictures. This is a super close-up picture of something. But again, I feel like it's abstract enough that the shape itself doesn't do anything for me. It's a texture at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree.
Quickly through pictures because somehow we're already...
Move.
I
I'm gonna give
definitely
these a
think it's a
pick.
striking thing. Yeah, I like it.
This. Okay. I like cars.
Yeah, it's definitely a recognizable subject, but I think, especially during a car show, this sort of close-up picture is a good way to go.
Yeah.
Isolate some
We
interesting
have a car
detail.
show
of it.
photography video,
We do.
if you care to check it out.
And this is still a bit too complex for me. Look at the file name for that picture.
Tony is a hunk.
I
I
know,
sent him
I'm
this
blushing.
picture.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
This is strikingly similar to the other one I saw, but I really like the movement of it, and I'm going to give it a pick. I feel like this and the other picture could be printed out and paired on a wall next to each other. It's good to kind of group these things,
Yeah.
I think.
Sorry about my phone, everyone. I'm trying to turn it off.
This looks like a hard drive platter
That's exactly what it is.
I've taken a few of these things apart, usually in frustration, trying to like shake the head loose.
It's not abstract
but
enough.
cool. No.
Bring us deeper. Whoa.
That's really interesting because they help to make it abstract by giving it
Tilting
like
it.
a solid 30-degree tilt. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give that a pick
Okay.
for the effort. I still think there's some distractions in there. Maybe find some way to like simplify these shapes.
I just straight up like it.
Yeah. You're right.
Don't
It's
touch
those
it.
it's those buildings in the background. I just want to
No. You stop.
No.
You
Okay.
stop. You monster. You leave it.
Okay. Chelsea had to undo that. Really offended her.
You did. It hurt. I really feel like I know what it's like to be a fish. I think it's about the shapes.
Right.
So we're going
Okay.
to up the contrast. We're going to bring these blacks down. The blues, oh, they're interfering. Let's bring the blues up. And then
Now it looks kind of like one of those diagrams of gravity that you never really understand.
oh, when the planet's in the middle and then the gravity is like a cloth.
Yeah. I think you're onto something here with kind of simplifying it. The sky, while pretty, was almost
was a
distracting from the
distraction.
main shapes. Like you could go on an overcast day and probably really isolate the subject.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean that it's a better picture with a blown out sky, just that it would be more on topic. Yeah, this is cool, but I'm right away those lines point to not quite the center of that. Like I think you're not quite lined up perfectly, and my OCD can't possibly be happy with it. You know what I mean? Because they
Yeah.
point here instead of here.
Yeah, but it's almost, maybe it's saying something.
Like he's OCD.
Yeah.
Maybe Maybe if we put that in the corner or something. I just can't handle it when something is not quite in the center.
It was hurting me a little,
Yeah.
but that almost made me like it. Like, how dare you hurt me, pink lines?
I think this shot is very cool. I don't know what's going on with it, but I find it interesting. Oh.
Why'd you say that? Let's get rid of this. Clone that out.
Yeah. That
Save
bugs me. And also there's a touch of purple along the right side there that I would want to crop out. But it's a splash of yellow color that makes this picture. So that's your focal point. And the rest of it is just interesting. And there is a lot of detail captured in the reflections.
Oh, I'm a loose cannon.
She's on a rampage. So yeah, so you're going to simplify it just a little bit. I'm going to give it a pick.
I like it as well.
Yeah.
Good job.
Great
Brewer.
eye. Especially just the fact
You
that they were
did
working with
it.
reflections. Nicely
My
done.
advice to you, be confident.
This is a picture of a glass chicken. Think of your Nana Lucy. I would not call it abstract. This beautiful
Wait a
abstract.
minute.
Justin really I got Justin with the glass chicken
I'm going to
picture.
give this 5 stars because
Yeah, I gave that one a pick right away.
what I like
Gorgeous.
with this, the composition, they put this corner to corner. It's balanced, it's abstract, there's contrast,
Mhm.
it's interesting. I really like it.
Yeah, it's a perfect example.
This, I feel like you're almost there.
Yeah, I feel like this would be an awesome setting for a portrait, like if somebody were
But,
walking
like-
down the stairs, but working on its own, it doesn't really do it for me. It's just too much. But maybe it's a place where a picture could be taken if you like zoomed in tight on something.
I think it's pretty cool.
But glass staircase, this is a really cool place. New
Yeah.
York City Public Library. Chelsea's squinting.
Don't judge me. You don't even know me at all. You do. I'm just seeing what you could do to make it a little more abstract, because what I like that you did is there's contrast in the light, and the glass is interesting and the colors are interesting. It looks kind of sci-fi and I'm a fan of that, but I see what you were seeing.
Whoa.
Ghost kite. Sounds like a cool kid's cartoon.
I like that shot a lot. It's just got so much motion to it. I don't even know how that was made, but
This
I think
is
it's
like-
really cool.
Very symbolic, you know? Sometimes you just let life take you like a ghost kite.
This shot to me is dominated by this big black space. It definitely helps to have it in black and white. Okay. So now I think we're getting somewhere, because now by brightening it, the brightness helps to balance this huge negative black space. So now the balance is a little bit better. Yeah, that's stronger to me, just on a guttural level.
So then you have a line right down the middle, and then it's kind of balancing out a bit.
Right.
The color, I thought, added... the color's so good.
I'm a fan of the black and white. I like that, yeah.
Oh, wow. Look what we got here.
Yeah, I also feel like this needs something, like somebody with leaning over the top level with a bright red umbrella, like a parasol.
That's not abstract.
But
I took out the
this
yellow
isn't terribly abstract either.
because the yellow distracts me.
I see. You basically made it spot color.
Oh, dear Lord. You take
You love spot
that.
color, I see. Maybe you go
take
black and white with it?
You take it. How dare you speak to me in this way? I do like it better in black and white. The blue,
I like it in black and white
Is
too. It's
interesting.
reminiscent of like an iris.
who's Iris?
I like this too, and I like that they got it by accident. I
Hey.
like that story. The colors here are beautiful. I'm going to give that one a pick. It's a happy accident, right?
I have a video on how to do that accident. It was bright colors, but they looked kind of muddy, so I just add a little sparkle.
Yeah, that deserves to be in a print. That should be
Sure.
on your wall. I'd put that on my wall.
This is cool,
Just a lot going on, very busy.
but it's cool.
And this, yeah, there's
this
not
a
a lot of
stain in it?
contrast to it. And again, we kind of have this thing where it's just barely off center. Like it doesn't necessarily feel deliberate, but I actually like making it high key. I like it a lot more with it high key.
High key.
Yeah, but the balance of it didn't do much for me.
This is neat. Is this tire tracks? I think it is.
Yeah, it's kind of washed out too,
That's all right.
and the texture itself is really busy.
I still think it's interesting. And I like
Yeah, and I think
Oh.
in the context of, maybe as a decoration, I think it would be really cool to, if it's in a garage or a warehouse or something, to put together a set of abstract photos about the place and kind of show a different side of it. I think that kind of context would work great. Not abstract, still cool. I think there's no particular like balance to it for me. Like it feels, because of this bright chunk at the top, it feels a little bit like left heavy.
I'm just seeing what's in there. What if there was a ghost
Wouldn't it be
in
terrifying if there were a face?
there? I like the colors.
Watch Stranger Things. It's on Netflix.
Siobhan's face lit up. It's great.
Oh,
right?
you're watching it. Oh, good.
And
Maybe she told us about it.
I don't know. Everyone told us about it.
Yeah.
Because it's really great. And if you liked E.T. and what other movies and shows does it rip off of? Not rip off of, but an homage to.
Well, it's very Stephen King if
Yeah.
his things were ever made into good movies.
Yeah.
But better because the story is cohesive. It's so good. It's so 80s.
It's really 80s and it's really good.
Yeah, and if you're any sort of filmmaker, I think you'll appreciate this, like the tons of homages, both in like specific cuts and compositions, but also in the styling and the toning of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like a filmmaker's film. You know what I mean? Except it's a series. Siobhan, while we're talking to you, is there anything interesting going on in the comments?
What's good over there?
People are losing their minds about your edits.
Which one?
All of them.
What? Well, I guess it is kind of like,
We didn't explain abstract really, I don't think. And people have very differing views of what it's supposed to be. And some people think that since it's abstract, it is like you cannot even criticize it because it's art, which is all photography, and that's the point of this show.
Yeah, I mean, if you put this in a gallery, any of these pictures in a gallery, that would be your space, and I wouldn't criticize them at all. But the fact that this whole show is a critique show, and that's what you're asking me to do. So I'm not going to go through every picture and be like, wow, this is abstract. Wow, this is abstract. Wow, this is your art. I can't do that. Unless, if you go, I would probably do it if I went to your show or something. But I'm not going to do it now. So
I like that people put, like, you can't touch abstract photos, but they can impose on us what we can do on our own show.
Yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
Are these the rest? We have a few minutes. We should do a super fast.
I was kind of going through and assigning,
and also,
like,
how is
filtering them
something
out.
abstract if you just definitely know what it is? Or if it's just represented in a completely average and recognizable way. Like, sometimes stuff is just a close-up. Not my fault, guys. I got confidence now. Sorry.
Take it or leave it. New Chelsea's here.
Take it or leave it.
Okay, I filtered that out a little to what I thought was like the most abstract of the abstracties.
This one is okay. This is funny because I was just saying that, but this one is abstract, even though we definitely know it's a guy standing in a corner.
What makes it abstract then?
I think what makes it abstract is that, first of all, there's some weird optical illusion where you don't know if you're looking into a corner or if the corner is like concaved or convexed.
Oh, now that you said that, I can't make up my mind. It's like flipping between them.
I know, and that's super weird and interesting, but also he's doing something extremely unnatural. He's more of a form at this point, and he is not looking anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. And I also think abstract is one of those things where I should be able to look at the thumbnail and like it. Like I don't need to zoom into the details. So that's part of why I thought looking at the thumbnails would help me find the best pictures. That one's a beautiful picture, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry we skipped past it so quickly, but painterly, I like it a lot. I don't know that it would classify as classically abstract.
I think so.
Same with this. Beautiful shot. This is definitely not abstract, but still cool. Very cool. I don't know how you did that. This feels just, I don't know, this doesn't strike me somehow. It just feels like kind of a macro shot with too shallow of depth of field, but maybe I'm too far inside of photography to appreciate it. You know, I like this on the thumbnail, but
Shapes and color.
yeah. What is it? It's just not quite doing it for me.
I like the contrast between the blues and the yellows. I think that's really nice.
Yeah, that's what I like about it too. And that's kind of why I picked it out of the crowd.
All right.
That's pretty right. I think that they found a great arrangement of curves and colors. It might also work in black and white, but I think they had a great eye.
Yeah.
So I'll give that a pick.
Yeah. And you know what this is, but it's not about the object. It's about something else.
Yeah.
It's about some other form.
I like that a lot too. That is definitely a real world subject, but you took something completely ordinary and found a way to make the lines just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I'm giving that one a pick too. Great eye.
What?
Is that for real or is that like
I think
flipped
that
or
they
something?
took a picture and they just kept flipping it to make a shape. So I think they just rendered a shape in Photoshop.
Oh.
Or like
Yeah.
T-Gar style, just
Yeah,
take
it
a picture of
reminds
a mirroring it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it reminded me of.
Tigar style.
Oh yeah, he loves doing that stuff.
Yeah. That's cool. Maybe to make it more photography, take out the big gray border. Cool.
Yeah.
Those colors.
Yeah, I like that. I like this too, though maybe even tighter because there's so many different crossing lines at this point.
Mm.
Yeah, that's almost too common of a shot. We see a lot of these like looking up at buildings, but it's common for a reason. It's interesting. It's compelling.
Yeah. I'm trying to go. I want to stop, but then I'm trying to go quickly.
Yeah, that's a
I like
beautiful
that.
arrangement of colors.
Yeah.
Very pretty. That might have been the last one.
That's
that I
it?
selected. Okay.
Siobhan, anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
In defense of the abstract argument, someone said an abstract can be not only removing the details, normally seeing it in its natural state, but also removing the object from the natural context of its surroundings.
Yeah.
So even if something is recognizable, shooting it in part is abstracting the image itself.
Yeah, like the guy in the corner. The two subjects were recognizable, but the juxtaposition.
See, I think that's like minimalist or even the word. I don't know if that's abstract, but I loved that photo. That was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites too. That was a really cool photo. But you're right, maybe not so much abstract.
Let's see if I have one more good question for you. Was there a turning point when you believed your photos were good enough to charge money for? If so, what was it?
Well, we started in stock. So when our photos were good enough, people bought them. So the first pictures that we put up did not sell well or got rejected by the stock agency. And then we would have to, they'd say, oh, there's noise in the shadows. And then we'd say, all right, we got to perfect our lighting so we can use a lower ISO. Or it would just look corny and then no one would want it. So, what?
You're drumming, but I can hear it like coming right through the mic.
Sorry, I'm a drummer.
Well, and for me, I was just putting up pictures free on the web, but then people kept writing me saying, I want to put this picture in a book. What does it cost? There was never a point when I thought I'm good enough. It was just people started wanting to pay me. And so I thought, clearly there's some value in this.
Yeah, and that will happen to you. If you're a portrait photographer or something and you're putting up your pictures, people will start approaching you. You should charge them. Anything else, Siobhan?
Jesse A just said they've all been commenting on your crops this video, and Jesse said that you should both wear crop tops.
I do wear crop tops all the time.
I don't even know what a crop top is. Somebody tell me.
It's a shirt that comes up higher than your...
Oh, I don't think anybody wants me to wear a crop top. That would not be a good look.
I do. Maybe
No.
next show.
No,
I do.
you don't.
There's an adorable baby attached to you.
Hey, Eloise.
I have a cute child here. She can't hear you. Guys, I don't know.
Okay, good enough.
I'm out.
She's out.
Thanks for hanging out, Siobhan. Hey, Eloise. Give this one a pick. I like that one too. Thanks for sending in your abstract photos. Next week, it's a special photoshopping thing.
Yes.
Think need proper photoshopping. And we'll do what we can in real time.
We'll see how this works out.
Yeah,
Whenever
it's
we
an
don't
experiment.
give very explicit directions.
Sometimes we get bored.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Siobhan. And thank you, viewers, for coming.
Don't forget, squarespace.com/Tony, coupon code portfolio. Thank you for your support, Squarespace. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Here's
That is all.
I'll go over here.